Hey guys, it's Kaylee. I am back with another FAQ video. I am here today answering frequently asked questions on YouTube. On YouTube, I can't always just make a video responding to every single question because some of them are just, smaller. I can't make a whole video about it. Others, I can't really respond in the comments via text to explain exactly what I mean. So these videos, this series is a great place to answer you guys' frequently asked questions here on YouTube. So I've got a list in front of me. We are going to go through them starting now. The very first one is, what is my return strategy? I'm going to assume that for most of these were about my return strategy on eBay. As you guys know, not every platform actually accepts returns, and they have different things that you can do within the platforms as far as returns go. Specifically on eBay, which I think is where all of these questions are coming from, my return strategy is to do what gets me the top rated seller status, which allows me to have a discount off of my final value fees, and that is offering free 30-day returns, which means that the buyer can return the item for any reason at all, no questions asked within 30 days, and I will pay their return shipping. So that is my strategy. Why is that my strategy? Why did I choose that? Well, the answer is I've done many different strategies. I feel like I've also, by the way, answered this question on some other videos, but it just keeps popping up. So I'm going to answer it again. But the reason I do it is because on eBay, buyers can force returns. So even if you don't accept returns, or even if you're not doing free returns, your buyer, all they have to do, if they know the system, is say that the item is not as described, and then they're going to force a free return and force you to pay shipping back. So if the buyers can force it, you might as well go ahead and offer the return and get the benefits of offering free 30-day returns, like qualifying for top rated seller plus, which again gets you a discount off of your final value fees. So that is why I offer free returns. Plus, I just feel like it's a very competitive market, and there's actually a checkbox in filters on eBay where buyers can check, well, there's two things: free shipping and then free returns. So if they click free returns, that means that every seller who does not have free returns is excluded from that search. And so that's the reason I am choosing free returns. Next question is, in my videos regarding many different topics like pricing my items or promoted listings or returns, is the general basis is, why don't I make exceptions for the items where they would apply? For instance, returns. If I have a higher valued item, why am I not just saying no, no returns on that one specific item, even if the rest of my store I am accepting returns on? Or why do I have things priced a certain way, but maybe for more expensive items, I'm not doing something different? So those are the kind of exceptions that I'm talking about. The reason that I choose in most cases, not saying I never make exceptions, but in most cases, the reason that I choose not to do these little niche like rules and exceptions in my business are because they are simply too complicated. I am all about simple, what we call in the group minimalistic reselling. I want things to be easy as much as possible. I want things to be flat across the board, where I'm not having to change things for certain rules. Like, it's one rule, it's across the board. And do I lose out on some money sometimes because I'm not able to squeeze out more money from certain sales because I'm not applying these exceptions to things? The answer is probably yes, but in the long run, am I probably making more money because I'm saving time by having a blanket rule on everything? I think the answer is yes. I have done in the past where I've had those little niche exceptions, and I have found that it just quite honestly stresses me out. It can become complicated for the buyer. They wonder why things are done a certain way on one item, but they're not done another way on others. And I've just found that the easiest thing for me is to just go ahead and have those blanket rules flat across the board, and it makes my life a lot easier. And I think because of that, I'm able to get more done in other areas of my business. And I think in the long run, I do end up making more money. Along those same lines, some people have been asking if I ever do auctions on eBay. So on eBay, you can do buy it now, which is what I do, which is like flat rate pricing. And then you can do auctions where people can actually bid on the item. And then you choose the time frame. Once that time frame ends, it's whatever the auction ends with the highest bid. So I've done auctions in the past when I like first started, not even reselling, just selling things on eBay. And it's just, to make a long story short, it's just a little too volatile for me. I feel like things can go much, much lower than you expect. Yes, they can also go much, much higher than you expect, but they can also go much, much slower. Not to mention, when auctions end, you have to take care of, what do you do if nobody bids? Like, you have to relist them, you have to pay attention to all these different things. And it kind of ties back into that minimalistic reselling that I'm talking about, where I just don't want to have to go back and look at all these thousands of items and deal with it. And I do have, almost, I would say, I think right now we are at, let me actually just check here. I think right now we're at around 7,500 listings. It's loading. 7,659 active listings currently. So that is about 7,600 listings that I would have to deal with on auction if I ran them all on auction, and worry about relisting them and worry about why they didn't sell at auction and keeping track of all the time. Like, it's just too much, you guys. Next question. This is one, again, I know I've answered on my channel before, but it's like a reoccurring theme, which is, where is Nikki? So Nikki is still with us. She is doing a great job. She is still working at the office. Our schedules, there's some things going on in her personal life and also my personal life where she needs to be at the office more, and I need to, because of that, be outsourcing more because she can't source as much. She is also taking control of almost all of our wholesale accounts. So she's dealing with those, and to be honest, that's like all she does all day. Wholesale, and then Reseller's Edge stuff. Reseller's Edge, because apparently people still don't know, probably because I don't like slam it down your throat every video, but we did start a reseller mentorship group with a couple of other resellers, and Nikki is one of the leaders in Reseller's Edge. Like, she helped found it, she coaches in it, she has her own coaching days, she makes videos for it, she responds to people on the Facebook group. So between wholesale and all of the Reseller's Edge stuff, like, she is incredibly busy. So because we're in two different places at once, I don't get to make a lot of videos that, include her with me anymore. But we do plan on doing some more in the future. I'd actually like to get back to doing the live Q&As on a weekly basis. I know a lot of you miss those, and we miss them too. It's just trying to find the time to schedule that in every single week. It's been very, very difficult, but I am trying to find a way so that her and I can do the live Q&As with you guys again, and maybe we'll get to see her. But in the meantime, if you would like to see her and also have an awesome way to grow your business and be surrounded by an awesome community and have a group of leaders and other, quite frankly, super qualified resellers around you to help you and to help you grow your business, then consider joining Reseller's Edge, because that money is definitely going to be recouped if you follow what we are teaching, if you are actively involved with it. We have people in the group that have tons of success stories of, having their best month ever, 1 month into joining the group. Everybody's learning so much, and just quite frankly, if nothing else, it is a super positive, uplifting community with people who are just like-minded. And if you go there, you are definitely going to interact and see Nikki. This next question, for some reason, I don't know what happened. I don't know what part of a video somewhere this sparked interest, but everybody's been asking what my Poshmark closet name is. So if you guys are ever interested in anything that I talk about, all you have to do is go to the description. In all of my YouTube videos, there is a little link. It's called a Linktree. If you click on that, you will see literally everything, every affiliate link that I have, every discount code I can offer, my store links, contact information, all of that is there. So that is where you can find my eBay store and my Poshmark closet. But in case you are still not willing to do that, which I think a lot of people aren't just willing to do those couple clicks, it is well_traveled, which is like our store name on all of the platforms. Next up is, I'm summarizing the question. It's a lot more of a statement than a question, but it's just that I made that promoted listings video, and then I even said in the video, like, hey, your mileage may vary. Like, this is just what's working for me. It might not work for you. People tried to do the exact same strategy that I was doing, which is promoting all of your listings, applying the suggested ad rate, but also putting that cap on. People are choosing different caps. I personally choose 15%, but the gist of the question is that people are trying it out and it's not working for them. Some people it is working. I've had a lot of people say like, whoa, my sales like took off like yours did. Other people are like, yeah, I'm just not really noticing a difference. Like, it's doing nothing. And then other people are saying it's actually decreasing their sales. So what I wanted to say regarding promoted listings and around these questions and this topic in general is that it may not work for you, right? It's working for me. It may not work for you. The thing about promoted listings is you already have to have quality listings, and you already have to have some pretty good organic traffic and a conversion rate, like already making sales, in order for promoted listings to do anything for your business. They're not going to replace sales that you don't have. They're just going to be a little cherry on top to give you a little bit of an extra boost so that your great items are coming more to the top of search and more people are seeing them. But at the end of the day, if you don't have very good items, or they're just, maybe they are good items, but they're just not in season, like people just aren't looking to buy them right now, if those items via promoted listings get pushed to the top of search, it doesn't change the fact that people don't want them. I hope that that makes sense. And maybe it is a really good item. Maybe you have a very quality listing, but maybe you're just simply priced incorrectly, which we're actually going to talk about pricing strategy at the end of this video, because that is probably my most frequently asked question of all time. I get asked it a lot, but specifically recently regarding what my pricing strategy is. So if you're not priced effectively, no matter what, promoted listings is only giving you more eyes. It's not going to convert sales for you. I hope that that makes sense. So if you're not experiencing the same results that I did with promoted listings, you probably have a lot different items than I do. Again, your mileage may vary. And then the last thing I wanted to say about promoted listings is you might actually, like, it might be effective for you. You're just not realizing that it is affecting you in a positive way because we're in the middle of summer slowdown. So a lot of people started it right as sales started to plummet for summer slowdown. If your sales are normally going to plummet, but then you do something about it, typically they're going to flatline. So if you do nothing differently during summer slowdown, for most resellers, your sales are going to dip and then they'll come back up during Q4. What I like to do is my sales are about to dip, so I do something about it, like I list more, I increase my ASP, I'm doing things like promoted listings or running sales. So instead of dipping, it keeps it upright and it flatlines. And that's basically what has happened with my store with promoted listings, because I had that big spike in sales right before summer slowdown happened. And now that summer slowdown has happened, I'm just kind of flatlined. That is how I see it. That is how I am reading the data. I know that maybe not everybody feels that way, but if you're doing promoted listings right now, just keep that in mind that, you know, there is summer slowdown happening right now. So, you know, it might actually be working. You just don't realize it. All right. Next up, why can't I find the items that you are showing in your videos where I live? And first of all, I just got to say, like, I am personally thrifting items in my area, but we also get wholesale coming in from all over the United States. We have, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Nikki said the number the other day. I think we've worked with over 50 wholesalers within the last year. Some of them are still active. Some of them were like one-offs. Some of them have dropped off the face of the planet. But in general, I would say we work with about 20 wholesalers like on a regular basis. And so a lot of them are in different places. So if you just think about that, if all of them were in different states, I'm getting wholesaling from possibly 20 different states. So the stuff that I'm showing in my videos is coming from everywhere. So generally speaking, at some point, somebody should see something in my video. The likelihood that you have it around you is honestly pretty likely because I'm getting stuff from everywhere. Now, if you are seeing stuff in the videos and you're like, I really, really cannot find these items, it's possibly just a regionality kind of a thing. So if I weren't getting wholesale, then I'm limited to whatever I can find in the state that I live in, which is Ohio. Not only that, but I'm also limited to whatever area that I source in, because all I have access to is what is coming in. So things tend to circulate around the same region. If you live in like Florida, for instance, you're going to get a lot of really beachy brands. You're probably not going to see a lot of heavy coats. You're going to see linens. You're going to see bright multicolor like Lily Pulitzer, J. McLaughlin. Whereas where I live, there's a lot of LL Bean. There's a lot of Eddie Bauer. It's more of a mountainous region. We experience, seasons at all levels. So I think it really just depends on where you live. Something you can do if you're wondering like, what do I have access to in my area, is you can study the eBay solds, filter to the solds, and then type in your zip code into the zip code filter, and then expand that to, I would usually say about 50 miles at least, if not 100 miles, because trucks are shared within regions. But then that way you can actually see what you have access to, because other resellers in your area are listing those items, which means maybe you're just not getting to them first, or maybe you're not traveling to those areas where there are better items. Next question is, this is regarding talking about selling things on Whatnot. And I have a couple of questions that are basically like, well, hey, if you could just sell these items on eBay and get full price, then why would you be putting them on Whatnot and not on eBay and Poshmark? I recently did the video, which was season 2 of Whatnot, explaining this Whatnot experiment over the next few months. I think I'm actually like a month, maybe a month and a half in. So really now it's only about a month and a half to 2 months left. But I was explaining how over the next several months, I was going to be trying to like go really hard and give a full effort on Whatnot. And I recommend, if you're starting any new venture, whether it's Whatnot, whether you're hopping onto Poshmark or you're hopping onto eBay, or maybe you're just trying out a new sourcing method, it doesn't have to be a platform, but that you really give it a full effort and that you actually attempt to do it for a long period of time. If you're going to try promoted listings, you can't just try it for a couple days and say that it's not working. You have to let things go for a little bit of a time, and sometimes even through multiple seasons, because seasonality affects a lot of things, to figure out if things are actually working and if it's possible to work in your business. And so that's why I'm trying Whatnot. So I committed to doing, several months of putting out some good items, being consistent on shows. Watch that video. I talk about all my strategies, but I am actually starting to see that my average sale price is increasing. And I wouldn't have known that that was even possible without putting the same items that I'm listing on other places on Whatnot. So my goal on Whatnot is to increase my average sale price. I'm not sure that it's ever going to get to be like full price what I would get on different platforms like eBay and Poshmark. But if I can get it to somewhere between 50 and 75% of what I would get on eBay or Poshmark, I would definitely be okay with that. Just because you're flipping it the same day. Like, it's so quick, right? Like, I can source things and then I can flip them on Whatnot the exact same day and recoup my money and have money in hand like the same day. So there's definitely give and take. I've mentioned opportunity costs before. I think it's weighing out opportunity costs, but I really want to give it a full effort, and I do like the fast flip. So we'll see at the end of this, like 3 months, where I kind of land with that and if I'm going to continue moving forward with it. If I test it out and I realize like, hey, after 3 months of doing all of these things that, you know, everybody's suggesting to do and that I think should work and it's still not working for me, then I'm not going to continue doing it. But I have to give it a full effort and I have to try. Next question is, I've just been getting a lot of interest about wholesale. I'm not going to go too much into wholesale on this video because I have talked about it at length in a lot of videos recently. But basically all that happens with wholesale is somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I've either already got stuff or I'd like to source stuff for you. We have a conversation, we decide on pricing. Let's say that they can pick things up for $2 because they shop at the bins and they want to charge me $8. I tell them like, yes, that works, or no, that doesn't work. They send the items to me and then they get the, you know, difference. So it's basically just another form of reselling is what wholesaling is. You're just reselling to resellers. If you guys want to learn more information about wholesaling, I have already done 2 interviews with 2 of my wholesalers. So if you just search Kaylee Elaine Wholesale or Wholesaler, one of them was with Trash Pandas, one of them was with somebody named Shelly. So if you search either one of those names and Kaylee Elaine, you're going to see those interviews and they're very insightful. You can learn a lot from both perspectives, the buyer and the wholesaler. You can learn how it works. On Shelly's interview, I also have a link in the description box that has a Facebook group that she created that connects buyers and wholesalers. Fantastic group that has taken off for her. It is growing quite a bit and there are a ton of people making deals on there. So go check those out if you guys would like more information on that. I mentioned Posher VA in a recent video. I have been using Posher VA for a really, really long time. I love Posher VA. It takes the like annoying aspects out of being on Poshmark away for me so that all I have to do is list and ship. So I've been using Posher VA for a while. I am an affiliate for them. I love them. Also, they are a great partner with not only my channel, but also Reseller's Edge. If you join Reseller's Edge, you will currently get your first month of both Lists Perfectly and Posher VA for free. So if you want to check them out, as I'm talking about this video, you're going to get like a combo deal. It's for new users only, so keep that in mind, but lots of value there. When you join Reseller's Edge, you'll get those 2 of your first months for free. But Posher VA, I've been getting a lot of questions about how it works. I've done videos about it before, but one question I've been getting a lot is, if I get this service, does my computer have to stay on? And I first want to say that you do have to run it on a desktop. So it can't be on your phone, unfortunately. Maybe someday they will come out with that. But for right now, it does have to be like on an actual desktop. So it's basically an extension. You've got to have your desktop on, you have to be signed into Poshmark, and you have to have that extension downloaded and, you know, set up your settings or whatever to get it running. Once that's done, all you have to do is make sure that your computer is turned on and that it doesn't go in sleep mode. So you can actually search sleep mode in your settings and turn off sleep mode on your computer. So as long as sleep mode doesn't happen and your computer doesn't shut off and you're logged into Poshmark, it's going to take care of everything for you after you set up what you want it to do. If your computer goes to sleep, it stops all extensions, not just Posher VA, so it won't work. But your computer going into sleep mode is different than the screen turning off. So your display can turn off to save battery. It's just that your computer cannot go into sleep mode or it is not going to work. Next question is regarding like, what is my strategy with markdowns? Like when the seasons change, what do I do? I have made videos on exactly how I do my markdown strategy every single month for any items 90 days or older, but I haven't really talked about a seasonality plan, and that is because up until actually today, I have never had one. So I've never really been the person that goes and, has a plan for when winter's ending, I'm, marking down all of my coats. I've never been that person. I've ran sales a couple times when things have popped into my head and they've been pretty successful. But as far as having like a whole year plan, that's never been me, even though I know I should have been doing it. So this year I really buckled down. If you guys watched the video of like my recap of last year and my plan for this year, I included in that video, hey, I know I'm not good at this, and this is going to be my focus this year, is coming out with a plan to flush everything out so I'm no longer holding on to older items, and so I'm not getting stuck with things from previous season as I move into another one. So I have spent probably 6 months researching seasonality. When do people buy stuff? When should I be marking down things? When is the best time to actually mark stuff down and to flush it out? I've also decided that I no longer want to hold on to things older than a year. So in my mind, I have to know what that markdown strategy is now for an entire year, so that I feel comfortable getting rid of them at that year mark and knowing that I've done everything in between to try and get them to sell. So actually here on my screen right in front of me, I've been working on it a little bit today. I almost have my entire seasonality plan completed. When I'm going to mark stuff down, I have like steps for every single month. I have marked down when people start buying stuff. So I would suggest that you guys do the same. Obviously my strategy is going to be marking stuff down before people start buying for the new season, trying to stay ahead of it, and then flipping my sourcing as soon as, people are starting to buy other stuff. So I'm never hung with anything. If you guys are interested in actually viewing this seasonality plan, I am going to be sharing it in the Resellers Edge group. I will share this exact document in our documents and resources section so you can make a copy of it. We'll also go over it on a live call in the Resellers Edge group, but you've got to be part of the group in order to see that. That is those are the kind of things that we go over in the group. Deep dives, we hold your hand through everything. We can talk with you about your business. I actually just did, we do giveaways in the group. So once a month you have access to a giveaway, and it's a random drawing, but every month somebody wins a 1-hour one-on-one coaching with a coach of your choice. This month the winner chose me, and I talked to her this morning. Don't tell anybody, but we actually went a little over our time. I always do that during one-on-one coaching. But yeah, we really got into the nitty-gritty about stuff. And one of those things was seasonality plan. So I've already shared that with her, but I'll be sharing it with the rest of the group if you're interested. I'm telling you guys, there is so much value there. We just started this in January. It's grown tremendously, and you can just ask people in the group how things are going. If you guys are in the group and you're watching this, please help me out. Drop your comments down below. How is the group going for you? I know I've been seeing some comments about how valuable it is, and how honestly the subscription price is a total steal based on the value that you guys are getting in the group. So seasonality plan, that's my general seasonality plan. But if you guys want to see those details and have us walk you through the entire process, and possibly even build one with you tailored more towards some of the items that you might be selling, we can totally do that with you on a live call in the group. One more question about Whatnot that I kept getting was hey Kaylee, it's great that you're showing us how your Whatnot setup is and the money you're making, the types of things you're selling, but you've got help. Can somebody do Whatnot solo? And the answer is absolutely yes. You totally could do it solo. Everything that I do on Whatnot, I feel so confident in it now that I feel like I can run a show by myself. I just know that it wouldn't go as quickly. When we run a Whatnot show, because I have one person presenting and then I have one person dealing with writing the buyer's username and who it belongs to, our shows are I'm running an item, I'm handing it over. I'm running an item, I'm handing it over. It's so quick, but not everybody wants that kind of a pace in a show. And so there are a lot of solo Whatnotters. I'm not sure. That sounds like an astronaut. That'd be a cool name, a whatnotter, who are doing it completely solo and who, by the way, have no social media. And they are making way more than me. Like, it is their total source of income. They built it from the ground up out of nothing, and they're honestly killing it. There is a Facebook group that I joined. If you type like whatnot on Facebook, you'll see some groups pop up. I can't remember the exact name to it. I think it is Whatnot for Resellers or some Whatnot support group or something like that. Whichever one has the most people in it, it's a huge group. Go and join that group. It's totally free. It's a public group, but go in there. You will see the people in there that you can follow and study, and you can see their success stories. You can see these screenshots of like their analytics and how they grew in like 6 months. I mean, it's crazy. People are making like a full-time annual income in 1 month. It's absolutely insane, but it's because of those quick flips. It's because they worked hard. It's because they are consistent, and it's because they go out every single day and source great items and flip them within the same day. But you could totally go, they share all of their tips. I mean, they really don't hide anything in there. You can totally learn, and you could totally do this solo, and you could totally make a killing at it. So go check that out if you are interested in, doing Whatnot solo. But yes, I absolutely think it's not that I think, I have seen solo resellers, people that I know personally, and also people on that group that they're just absolutely killing it. So go on there and check it out. Another question that I've been getting recently is, how much do I spend like a week or a month sourcing? What's my sourcing budget? I don't really have a sourcing budget, and I know that that sounds terrible to say, but at this point, as long as my margins are where I need them to be, like, I just buy it. To be honest with you, I can't seem to get enough inventory in because I have employees, I have people to list very quickly, and we are churning through hundreds of items every single week. So I'm constantly buying, we are constantly listing, and that's why I love wholesale so much, and that's also why I love bulk buys. I just literally yesterday, you guys, by the time this video's up, will have seen my Instagram post, and I also posted on YouTube, but I went to a storage unit that someone in my local area has who is also a reseller, and they just have like a huge death pile, but they're a fantastic sourcer. I went there yesterday. It's going to be like a long-term thing. I can go multiple times, and I will be back, but we picked up, I don't know exactly how many items. I want to say between like 150 to 200 items within 3 hours of going through that storage unit. They were all prices that I could get via wholesale. So it's like all of these opportunities are out there, and I cannot pass on them. I cannot get enough inventory. So bulk buys are in my favor. And yeah, I love also people reaching out to me from other states, shipping them to me. I cannot seem to get enough inventory because we just list it and then it's out the door. Plus we're, also selling on Whatnot. So not only are we listing hundreds of items every week, we're also selling hundreds of items, probably not hundreds, probably about 100 to 150 each week on Whatnot. The shows are about 30 to 50 items each, and we do about 3 shows a week. So not as much on Whatnot, but still, like, it's still a lot of items in that area that we are churning through. So I do not have a budget. All I can say is if it falls within my parameters of what I am willing to purchase something for, and there's a high enough margin that it's going to, I know it will sell for enough, that's really what I'm looking at. But if it would help you, if you would like to do the math, let's see, I gotta move this calculator over because I can't see it. Oh shoot. There we go. You guys are in front of my screen here. You can kind of see it in the reflection. Okay, calculator. We are listing at least 40 items a day, 7 days a week. That is 280 items. My average sale price is, generally speaking, it really depends. It could vary anywhere from $2 all the way up to $20, but I would say about $6.50. So you guys can do the math there, but we are definitely bringing in a lot of items. Another question I've been getting is about wedding plans, because, you know, I dropped that bombshell that I'm getting married, and then I never followed up with you guys on it. So thank you so much to everybody that has been, you know, asking the personal questions and is taking an interest in it. So I thought I would update you guys because we've been getting a lot of questions, but we have settled on a date. We are getting married / eloped in August towards the end, and we decided to make it just us because we just wanted it kind of an intimate thing. We are going to be doing, you know, a dinner with our families just to kind of celebrate. But as far as the actual wedding ceremony, we did decide to get eloped, and we're getting married on the beach, just the two of us, which I am so excited about. It is coming up. I am not completely ready for it. I've got some stuff to get still, but thank you for asking that question, to those of you that did take an interest in that. And the very last question, and the one, again, so heavily asked in the comments, is all about my pricing strategy. So I have also deep dive into this in various videos spread throughout all of YouTube. I have not done just a video on this recently, except in the Resellers Edge group. We do have one about that in there, but I'm just going to give you my general strategy for pricing. So we try to focus on high sell-through rate items, which means that if an item has 100% sell-through rate within 90 days, I expect that if I price it correctly, it is going to sell within 90 days. So that means that there are a ton of people buying and items are turning quickly. I don't have to worry about an item sitting unless I, you know, list it wrong or price it incorrectly. So with that in mind, if an item is, and most times we pick up are around that 100% sell-through rates, I will price at the middle range of the market, which means whatever most people are listing that item for, that's what I'm going to list mine for. If the sell-through rate is much higher than 100%, I'll probably price towards the higher end of comps, because I know that it's going to churn really quickly and somebody might be willing to pay just a little bit more over that market value. If the sell-through rate is lower than 100%, which we typically do not try to pick up items lower than that, and even within that, we still look for at least about a 50% or higher. But if we do choose to pick up something that is lower than 100%, it's got to have a pretty high ASP in comps, meaning if there are 100 listed, there's only 50 sold, which would be about a 50% sell-through rate, but all 50 sold are selling for, let's say, around $50 or higher, I would feel pretty confident in making that purchase. However, when I go to price the item, knowing that the sell-through rate is 50% and much lower, I know that I'm probably going to have to price very effectively to get that item to move, because I have so much competition. So I don't want to be priced like everybody else. I have to give my buyer an advantage in order to want to purchase with me. So in that case, if all of the comps were showing $50, I would probably price at $40. So that is my general pricing strategy. I also do things like if there are certain features on an item, I'll maybe add a couple bucks up in my head. If I know I've got a really rare, unique item, or maybe I'm the one with the only thing. But generally speaking, that's how it works. I do not spend a lot of time in comps. I know it sounds like I do because I have those like 3 pricing strategies, but honestly, my comps are like 10 seconds or less. It's like I take a mental note of the sell-through rates. It is what it is. It falls here, it falls here, it falls here, and I know where I am going to price. So for me, it's a very simple pricing strategy, but in order for that to work, you do have to be looking at the sell-through rate. So hope that you guys enjoyed learning about that pricing strategy. I know it's more of a generalization, but if you want more details, we either have videos in the Resellers Edge group, or maybe we can talk about it on an upcoming live Q&A if you have more detailed questions. So that is it, you guys, for today's FAQ video. Let me know down below, are you liking this series of the frequently asked questions? I personally like doing them. I feel like they can be really helpful, but let me know down below if you'd like me to continue doing them, continue pulling the questions out of the comments, and relaying them here to you guys on these videos. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're not already, consider subscribing down below and hitting the notification bell, because if you do that, you'll be notified every single time I post a video. If not, it's all good. I enjoy seeing you guys here, and I enjoy talking to you guys in the comments. I will see you all in the next one.